Hello, everyone, and welcome to this new episode of Open Book Entrepreneur. I'm really happy and thrilled that we have Stephanie here all the way from Texas, but she's originally from New York. And yeah, she's a coach and she helps actually her clients in about divorce. And please, Stephanie, introduce yourself to the audience.
Sure. Well, thank you so much for having me, Tony. My name is Stephanie McFa. I am a love and life success coach. I specialize in helping people that are from thinking about divorce and beyond it because there's so much stress and overwhelm that comes around it. I'm super passionate about helping people because I used to be stuck in the cycle of choosing unhealthy partners. My first husband was abusive. And after I got out, I realized I had to help more people. And so my now husband and I actually work together, taking clients online, helping them really reclaim who they are, step into their power, and start living a life they're happy to wake up to every day, whether or not they're in a relationship.
Very nice. And what inspired you to actually start this business or get into this specific niche of coaching?
Well, I mean, so after I finally got out of my first marriage and I went through a depression and everything was going wrong. I just thought that because I had already had a background in crisis counseling. I was a teacher. I have a double master's degree. I had all this experience and understanding, and I just thought I was going to not do that again. I was just going to never be in another bad relationship. And as I started to heal, things got really bad for a little while. And then I was like, all of a sudden I realized I had this epiphany while I was in the hospital. It was like my grandmother passed away actually in France, and I couldn't go see her. I had a blood clot. I had all these different like bad things go on right after the other. I ended up in the emergency room with a sprained ankle, and I heard a voice that said, "You need to be your own knight in shining armor. You have to save yourself." And so I said, okay, whatever I've been doing all by myself has not been working. So I took that as I need to do whatever it takes to heal. And so I got a therapist, I got a coach. I really focused on really separating myself from people who were filled with toxicity and started really just living my life for me as opposed to living it for everybody else, which is what I had done before. And as I started to heal and the dark glasses of doom started to come off, and I suddenly saw the world for what it was, I was like, wow, if I am someone who has all this knowledge and I'm stuck like this, I can only imagine how many other professional people that, because it's nothing to do with your intelligence. It's just everything that you think about is gray. So once you put the new glasses on, as I like to call it, you realize life is beautiful and there's so much possibility and potential. And so it became my passion. It was a calling. I had to do it. I had to figure it out. And I had no background in business whatsoever. So I came from a zero background in business to, having to run my business full time. But it all comes from the heart of passion and excitement to be able to share this with other people.
Okay, and when you were saying about sharing it with other people, so what are the typical results your clients are getting when they're working with you?
So it depends on where they're at. So since it's from thinking about divorce, so some people, like for me, once I married, I didn't want to get divorced. I thought that getting a divorce was wrong, and I had to be there until the end of time. We had to just be together forever, even though he was abusive. And in my mind, I tried to lower how bad things were, like minimize how bad things were. And so I realized that when we are in that cycle, it's actually something called a trauma bond where things are really bad and then they can be good. And so we kind of actually get addicted to those feel good feelings. So we help people break that trauma bond so they can make better decisions for themselves. So if they're in that beginning phase, we can help them through that. If they're going through the process of divorce, then we can help support them in their emotional stress and making sure they're making the right decisions throughout their divorce. And then our like super favorite part is after the divorce is over, then let's start creating. So we've had clients that start their own businesses, clients that don't care about being in a relationship again for the first time in their entire lives, clients that are now traveling the world and having great experiences, changing, losing weight. Health issues that they had for years are suddenly gone. I mean, it's beautiful to see what stress does, and once it's taken away and you step away from the people pleasing and trying to think that there's a shame and guilt of asking for help, everything starts to open up for you, and we can let go of control, because that's a big issue, letting go of control and allowing the universe to provide and take the lessons that we have to create something better for ourselves. So that's really what our clients, it's really cool to see the differences, but how much growth there is once they start to do the work.
Absolutely. And since this podcast is focused more on entrepreneurs, like what's one tip that you can actually share with some entrepreneurs that are actually either going to divorce or are thinking about, getting divorced or something like that?
Okay, so one of the things that I've learned is the amount of money and stress that is lost from divorce. I mean, between bad relationships, I've lost over $150,000. I've had clients that have lost more, way more than that. So really, if you're thinking about getting divorced, then you need to get a coach. If in our business, we have coaches, people that know more than we do. Hopefully, this is not your first divorce, but if you've had one, then it's 70% chance of having another one. Think of the cost and energy. How able are you to focus on your career, on your business? If you're thinking about the kids, like coming up with a parenting plan, breaking up the money, shelling out money to more lawyers, all of those things cause a lot of stress. So being able to have someone else really point out what we need to do so that we can lower those stress levels is going to be super helpful. So don't think you have to do it on your own, and don't think that having a coach is going to make it more expensive to go through a divorce. It's actually going to lower the price, because instead of venting to your lawyer, you're going to have someone that you can vent to that costs way less. It is going to actually be able to help you and want to help you, as opposed to the lawyer that just cares about the law. They don't care about your stress and overwhelm from the divorce, but we do. We want to really help you to make sure that you are taking care of you so that you don't waste time and you still do the best you can for your customers.
And what's the best sort of time in the process for someone to actually get in touch with you?
Well, from the very beginning. So, and again, no matter where they are in the process. So, we've had clients that were just thinking about it. They're like, I know I need to end this, or maybe I need to end this. I need your help. So then we start from there. We have people that are coming into us because there's a high conflict divorce, and they're really stressed out and they don't really know what is correct information. Should they be pushing their lawyers more? So we have that. And then we have people who come and they've been through their divorce and they're on the other side and they're like, I am lost. Like, I don't know who I am. I don't know what I want to do with myself. When I was younger, I had all these ideas and dreams of things I wanted to do, and I haven't been able to do them. Help me really reconnect to who I am, recreate my life, my friendship circles, help me find who I am again, and really start, building it. So it's been, and then of course, I forgot this part, but the beyond is also people that want to start dating and they want to not do that again. So they don't want to waste time with another unhealthy relationship. So they really can come to us at any point. Some people start from the beginning and go all the way until they get married. So it really depends on what kind of support. But I'll say the big thing is the biggest mistake most of us make is thinking that we need to figure it out on our own. You are going to waste your time. You're going to give yourself, it's going to cost more money. And it's going to keep you from really showing up fully to everything that you do. So if you want to get through it quickly, you want to overcome it quickly, and so that you can get to the next chapter of your life, you got to make sure you have the right team on your side.
Obviously, you've been doing this for quite some time, and over 10 years and everything. So, did you ever have a situation where someone actually came to you because they needed help, getting divorced, and then when you started working with them, eventually they turned into something like, obviously, they stayed with their current partner, and everything was really good and happy.
Yeah, somebody asked me that the other day. I mean, a lot of the time, by the time someone comes to me, they know that they need it. I had a client of ours who was fabulous, and she came to us because her husband was an alcoholic, and he had been sober for 5 years. But she said, I can't move on from it. I'm so mad at him for the fact that he was an alcoholic. He wasn't around for our kids. It was very stressful, and there was a lot of just pent up anger. As we started to work with her, it came out that her brother, when they were growing up, had sexually assaulted her. And so she was harboring all this guilt and anger over this brother because, especially, she had told people, and then her brother passed away. And she had told people that her brother had done this, and nobody did anything. Nobody said anything. Nobody took care of her. And so once we were able to clear that part out and help her rebuild from that trauma from childhood, all of a sudden she started to open up and speak more and share her wants and needs with her husband. And all of a sudden she was like, I'm more connected to my husband than I've ever been in our entire marriage. Last thing I want to do is get a divorce. And now they've been happily married. I mean, and this was a few years ago. they've been now really happily married for the past few years and having just great times as they're getting older, really enjoying each other. So it does happen. It's not as common, but it's definitely, and that's why I say we're here to support in what's best for you. So if you decide that you don't want to get a divorce, we're not upset. Sometimes clients, because there's a lot of people pleasers. They're like, well, if I don't follow through, you're going to be mad at me. No, that's not, we really want you just to be happy, whatever that is.
Totally excellent. And if someone wants to actually get in touch with you or needs your help or needs to find out a little bit more about what you do, how they can do that?
So I would probably suggest we to go to our website, which is beinglovedshouldn'thurt.com. And there you can find you can get access to all of the programs that we have, the one-on-ones that we do, read a little bit more about myself and what my husband does, David. And you can actually see some of the great testimonials that we have from over the years of working with people and really changing their lives.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being a guest here on the show today. And thank you all for watching and listening to this episode. And I will also try to share this in the description, the link in the description. And yeah, let's go from there. See you in the next episode.
Thank you.